Here we are after too long, too long of a hiatus.
Too long, man. Too long.
Man, what's good with you, brother? It's good to see you, man. It's good to be back
Yeah.
in the building. It's good to be back in the building.
Yes, it is, man. It is. It is. It's been good, man. It's interesting. We were. Uh, I was. Hold on a second. Let me. Hold on. I got this. I got this volume on over here. I got the volume. I had to turn the volume down. So yeah, man. It was interesting because I just got back from Toronto and all of that stuff, and then like I don't know for some reason I just thought about you yesterday, man, and I was like, yo. I said, let's do. Let's So let's catch up because I was gonna be like, yo, let's just catch up,
Yeah,
on the session, right? Because that's what we do. But then I was like, yo, let's just go live, man.
let's chop it
You
up,
were like, dude, I was just thinking about you.
man.
I was like,
Literally thinking about you. Literally saying, got to talk about what's been going on, and everything. So, folks, chiming in. Appreciate y'all for jumping. Y'all know the Technologist Forum. We used to go live every every Saturday, but things have been happening in the world.
yes,
And one, I'll be even before we get into kind of everything. I was glad you back
yeah,
because you got caught up in uh, CrowdStrike
yeah, man,
and experienced delays like it's nobody's business. And it's interesting seeing how a piece of software, a piece of technology, a
mhm,
operating system update, a
mhm,
patch to an environment that typically we do all the time, either on our phones, or on our home devices, or on our desktops, whatever, how that can domino
yeah,
and take down commerce,
yeah,
right? Take down, pause the planet. COVID actually stopped the planet, but
mhm,
CrowdStrike paused the planet. And so I got caught 24 hours before CrowdStrike just because of LaGuardia, just because of air traffic, just because of weather.
mhm,
And
mhm.
the couches in LaGuardia are not comfortable. Just so you
No,
know,
no,
after a 14-hour period of sleeping on them couches, just so you know, LaGuardia Airport. Shouts out to them though. I don't want to throw no shade, but I did have
right,
to.
right.
Me and my wife slept in LaGuardia on the couches all night. I don't recommend it to nobody, but I don't.
Man,
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 you
man.
know what I'm saying? But man, but see again, so that I was 24 hours before for the issue
Mhm.
with the update. You got caught up in it. Talk to me about the airline that you were flying on, because not all airlines got caught up in this.
Yeah, man. So hashtag Delta. And the interesting thing, man, was that um, you know, I honestly felt that I had an experience with a couple of other airlines that weren't so great, and so I was like, you know what, I'm not using them anymore. I'm gonna just start using Delta, right? And so I said, okay, fine, I'm just gonna start using Delta, and so yeah, I was actually scheduled to leave out on Sunday.
Mm,
So for just for the sake of, sort of variety, instead of like I'm flying into typically my destination was Toronto, but
mm,
flying to Buffalo and typically Cher will kind of pick me up in Buffalo. We may spend the day there because I got family and stuff, and then we typically drive back up to Toronto. So we sort of make it an event. And so that's sort of what we do. Sunday, I was supposed we were driving back down to Buffalo because we left out early, and we're like, "We're just gonna eat breakfast, yada, yada, yada." Just before we crossed the border, my watch, your flight's delayed,
mm.
and it was my flight was supposed to leave at 12:21, and it was only like 8:30
You knew
in the
something was
morning,
going on.
and I was like, "Oh, man, this is 4 hours. This is 4 hours beforehand." And, so we eating breakfast, long story short, my flight got in this, eventually delayed to like 3:11 in the afternoon. So, and at that time, it was only like 10:30 in the morning. And I'm like, "Oh, here we go." I said,
Yeah,
"Okay, you know what?" So we said, "Forget about it." We went to a movie.
you went to saw a movie. You knew you wasn't getting on nobody's plane. You
I
went.
was like I was like,
This brother.
we either gonna like either they're gonna fix this thing because we're close to the airport, and then we just like forget about the movie and just go to the airport, or we just gonna enjoy the movie. So eventually my flight got canceled. So I said, okay, well, you know what? We went to the airport, and they said, you know what? We're not gonna be able to get you out until Tuesday.
No,
I said,
Lord.
Tuesday.
Listen,
I said, dude, I just got to get to the ATL. Like
man,
you, Tuesday. I was like, okay, you know what?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. And then the crazy part was that I forgot that I actually had a training with this retail company on Tuesday morning. So initially I said, okay, fine, just give it to me. I need the flight. And then I forgot that I actually had the training. So I went back to the airport and I was like, yo, what can you do for me? I need to get out of here. Like, either Monday or late Tuesday afternoon. And it was like, we can't do anything for you. So I said, you know what, whatever. I know who can. I got on the phone and I was on hold, James, for 4 hours. Now my daughter Kayla, and I'll tell you that story too. My daughter Kayla got me beat by s- by 6 hours. Kayla was on hold for 10 hours with
Wow.
Delta. I was on hold for 4 hours. Finally got somebody. They said, I said, hey, can you get me to leave out of Toronto? And they said, okay. And here's the thing, man. Can I just say something to people out here
Come
too?
through. Go ahead.
Is that when you are dealing with like situations like this, a lot of times you are pissed off and you're upset because you have had to deal with whatever it is that you had to deal with. When you're dealing with somebody on the phone that's a representative of that company or a situation, a lot of times they are not the cause of that issue. They are not the people who dictate when a flight is going to go and when a flight is not going to go. So I don't know. For me, I always think about it in that context. And so when I finally got somebody on the horn, I can tell that they were already kind of standoffish because they had already been dealing with a whole bunch of like just jerks.
Mm.
So I said, I'm flipped it on its head. I customer service the heck out of that dude. I was so nice to him, James. I was like, but internally I
You
was
weren't trying to
pissed.
shoot the messenger? Is that what it was? You weren't trying to shoot the
Oh,
messenger. Okay.
man, I was so nice to that dude. And he was like, "Mr. Worthy, we got you set up. We got this, to this, to this, to this." And I said, I had held a conversation with him about entrepreneurship and all this other stuff. And, and he ended up following me on LinkedIn
Love
and
it.
stuff like that. So I'm like, so when you're in those situations, those high pressure situations, don't shoot the person that is really just trying to assist you. He had no responsibility for my flights being delayed. None whatsoever. So he finally eventually like got it all sorted, gave me a crazy amazing seat, and finally got home on Tuesday. But yeah, that
It
was
still
that
took you
was
till
sort of the
Tuesday
adventure.
though. It still
No,
took.
excuse me, Wednesday. Wednesday. I
Oh
finally got
my
home on
God,
Wednesday. I got home on Wednesday.
man.
My apologies.
See, you a better man than I am. You because I don't know if my dad is watching right now, but and Montel's in the room. Yeah, we still talking about this about these getting stuck in the airport. One time before 9/11, and my dad is on here. He and I were flying out of Sacramento, heading to Vegas,
Yeah.
and our flight got delayed, pushed back. We got bumped from the flight. It was a little puddle jumper too, coming from Sacramento going there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen, man, there got to be some furniture moving up in the Sacramento International Airport. Me, because late at night too. We trying to head to Vegas, taking my dad out there. We trying to have a good
Right.
man, and I acted. It doesn't make sense. I got a little ugly. I won't do it again because it was. The guy that was there, he was the closest one, the United rep. He was the closest one. He represented the entire company. And I talked about him, his mama. I talked about everyone that looked like him, but I won't do that again. I won't. I'm a better person than that. And yes, Dan, I am. I'm what is the remake of the Terminal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
but see, that's an interesting thing, and I like the lesson that you put in that as well. But I guess from a technology perspective, and then kind of just how we can learn from this is travel
Mhm,
hacks, man. I started literally while sitting
mhm.
in that airport at LaGuardia, thinking about sitting on that
Yeah,
couch for all those hours. Planning extra flights, planning ahead of
yeah,
time, knowing
yeah,
when the delays come early in the day that, oh, something may be going on. There's going to be a domino effect, right? So if
Correct.
Delta's affected, I wasn't on Delta. I was on Southwest. Shouts out to Southwest, man. Southwest got
Yeah,
the
my
old
daughter got
school.
home with Southwest.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they got the old school computer system, so
yeah,
they still running Windows 95.
yeah.
They not running the new stuff. But we didn't have any issues with that side. But I mean, so have you thought of ways to mitigate and plan ahead and around some of this? Maybe
Yeah.
having
Here's
two airlines or something. Just curious,
oh
folks in the audience too, man. Just what can we do to, because this is, listen, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna
yeah,
happen again.
it's gonna happen again. Here's the and I'll answer your question here in a second too. But one of the things that like Sharon and I thought about, and you probably you know, I know you probably thought you and your wife probably thought about it this too, is that thank God that I actually had the means, meaning
Mm,
the financial ability to like either get a hotel and some people had to rent a car and they had to do other things in order to like get to their final destination. And so I felt really blessed because I did have the means in order to problem solve,
right.
right? In this situation, right? A lot of people may not have the means because they've saved up for this trip
Hmm.
and they may have been tapped out and they've now they're on their way back home because they went to Vegas and they spent all their money, right? It is what it is.
Why you
I'm
put my
just saying.
business out there like that?
I'm
Putting all
just
my
throwing
business.
it you got you
My
you you
God,
got
you
you
putting.
got the means, man. You got the means, but I think that's one thing that, either the airlines also they need to start to consider is that a lot of their travelers don't have the means for alternatives, right? And
Hmm.
so they are truly beholden to whatever that first set of options, are. And so I think they have to think about that and take that into consideration when certain things like this happen. Um, the other part is that yeah, when you think about trying to um look at other airlines and that once again, that's gets into the point of like if you have the means, I'll use my daughter for example, right? She was on Delta and her flight got delayed that Monday morning. I stayed overnight in Buffalo. She was in
Wow.
Buffalo for the weekend. Here's the crazy part, James. She was in Buffalo that weekend for like a bachelorette party and her flight got canceled it's like a 7 o'clock flight that got canceled. So she's in Buffalo. I'm in Buffalo. I'm in a hotel right across the street from her.
That's
And so
cool.
she
And you didn't
texts
even
me.
know it, right? You didn't
I
even
didn't
know
even
it.
know it. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. And she texts me. She my sister's address because her sister lives up there. And I said, what do you need it for? She's like, well, I'm stuck here in Buffalo. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? I am literally directly across the street from you. So I picked her we picked her up at around 8:30, took her out to breakfast, and it was great because then she had a flight for Southwest, and then she left at 12:40. And what I mean by that, and what the point of the story is I'm making is that she had the means in order to, like, buy a ticket for Southwest, which was around $700 to get her from Buffalo to, to Florida, right? Now they did compensate. Delta did compensate. They gave her the ticket. They gave her the money back for her ticket that she spent
Okay.
for Southwest. Plus, they gave her the money back for her ticket for what's it called for Delta, and then they gave her 30,000 like miles. So there is resolution to some of these
All
situations if
right.
you're able to like have the time and the patience to actually do some of this stuff,
So
man.
so
But
okay. So there's a good segue as well, and I'm not going to talk bad about Southwest because I'm still
yeah,
waiting on my vouchers. I've put in my request. So listen, I'm not going to be out here in these streets talking about Southwest. Love
right.
Southwest. I don't know how I feel about them switching now from or switching to assigned seats. But
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
talk about let's talk about that. Hold on, before I get into
yeah.
that happens when I was flying due to weather coming from Detroit back to the Bay. I knew all
Mhm.
I needed was to get to SFO, San Jose or Oakland. All would work, and someone else had no. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah, yeah.
again, so you talk about the means, you talk about the wherewithal, but again, I wonder if there's an opportunity for the layman, the common folk, the
Mm,
non-technologist, the person who,
yeah.
again, who has to deal with something like this when these types of situations arise. Like, and I love them. Shouts out to my in-laws as well. If they were to get caught up in something like this, because they travel a lot, but like if
Mhm.
going through customs, going through delays, having to go to different terminals in a really quick instant, things like that. There's got to be a way that we, the folks, kind of aware of these systems and aware of kind of
Mm,
what's going on, technology, the hardware, the software, and all that stuff around
mm.
it can help. How can we
Yeah.
provide value to the folks who may not be, yeah, they may have the financial means to
Mhm.
get the hotel, get the rental car, but maneuvering through the system, maneuvering through the TSAs and the deltas and the,
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. There's got to be a way that we can provide some value to folks. I just don't know if you
Yeah.
what you thought about that.
I wish there was and then maybe there is, right? Because, um, I read the book, Fall in Love with the Problem and Not the Solution by, oh my gosh, I wanna say it's Yuri Levine. He's the person who actually created and co-founded Waze.
Okay.
So, that the app Waze that we use for directions. And one of his creations that he did prior to that was an app that helped people get, money back from different taxes when they traveled abroad. And they would put in all of their information, things that they purchased and yada, 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 and they would actually be able to get money back for different travel purchases and things like that. The reason I said all that to say is that there needs to be something in place. I don't have the patience to do it, and this is why I'm putting the idea out there for anybody who actually has the bandwidth to do it. Is to just to think about the opportunity for some type of crisis management app for travelers. Like, what do you do? Like, where do you go? Because a lot of these, a lot of the once the platform is down, like with Delta, I could not get on the Delta app to change my flight. It would not let me do it. The
Wow.
entire system was jacked up. I could not do it, and I had to physically go into an airport to actually do it. Physically go into an airport. Now, if there
That's
was this I don't
intimidating, right? I
that's
mean, that's
intimidating.
intimidating for, again, I'm not a layman, commonplace person. That's right. That's a tough scenario to be in.
What's that? What's which
Well,
one?
again, when something like this happens, and
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
probably to the
Oh,
extreme, right? When the world pauses because of all the systems are down, but you again knew that you had to go do these different steps. But all right, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
yeah, no, no, you're good, dude. No, you're good, you're good. No, and I don't know. I mean, part of it is that you do feel helpless. Right? You feel helpless. You feel that no one cares. The
Mm.
airline doesn't care. The people in front of you, they don't care, right? If there was some way of providing people with, information, crisis management, travel crisis management, like what do you do? What are like one or two things to do? Because you can go to a website, maybe there's something on Reddit. I don't know. I'm just thinking that there needs to be something in place that could help people mitigate some of that frustration, but then navigate their way through to maybe what's next, a different possible outcome, whether it's possibly trying to find a way to get another flight home. Because the other part, what happened was that all the rental cars were gone.
There, yeah,
All the rental
there's that
cars were
domino
gone.
effect, right?
Yeah,
Everything's
all the
happening.
rental cars were gone, man. I mean, I wasn't gonna rent a car because I was fine, but everybody that was in front of me was trying to rent a car or going to rent a car, and they were like, There are no more cars. There are no more cars. All the cars are gone." Right? So people are trying to figure things out the best way possible to get home, man. So I just think that there needs to be some measure of some caring side of this crisis management to help people sort of navigate, not just emotionally, but also just intuitively kind of through different options until
Logistically,
the
right?
next thing. Yeah,
Logistically,
logistically.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I don't know what, but you back in the house. We back in the house. Uh, that's what matters. It's unfortunate. Some folks are still struggling through this. I
Yeah,
don't
man.
listen. Delta's up there near the top of the list of airlines, right? Premium features, first class seats. I know the worthy family sits in first class, so I don't have to. question that, but
uh,
surprised y'all still having problems.
I know, man. I know. I gotta get my money up to get the private jet.
Listen, next year,
Yeah,
next year, man.
next year.
What else you got going on, man? I know we tend to talk
Mhm.
about. I mean, it's almost like that was the main story happening, at least from a technology side or from a consumer side that folks can relate to, just how the world paused again and still trying
Mhm.
to deal through that. But since then, I've been thinking about again contingencies, how to prepare insurance, how
Yeah,
to have
yeah,
an
yeah.
alternative option, logistics. I mean, just all of those things around that, and I've been
Mm.
thinking about backups for my data as well. I used to have
Oh,
just one copy.
yeah,
Now I got multiple copies, and not just
yeah,
because of this, but just
yeah.
again,
In
just in
general,
case something goes down, I got different options to. I'm not relying on Microsoft. I'm not only relying on Apple. I'm not only relying on Google, right? So just I've got all of those kind of things. What do you do
yeah, yeah,
for your data? Because your data is kind of your business as well. Yeah,
yeah,
you're the brand,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
get up on stage and you talk, but you still have to have that Rolodex. And should Google Cloud go down, where's is all your stuff in Notion? Is all your stuff in?
That's a great question. I think part of it, you know, a large part of everything that I have is on the cloud, but it's also I have a NAS
Mhm.
that's over there as well. So, you know, and then I rarely leave anything on my laptop, like when I travel with my
Yeah,
laptop or anything. So even like right here, so even on my MacBook Studio, I still have, a 2 terabyte, external drive that I have attached to it, and I pretty much store everything on there and try to keep everything off of any of my in any of my systems. Just try to I don't know. I think Jamie, my good friend Jamie Taylor, he's a developer. And, he always taught me about the threes, right? You try to you have a backup, you have a NAS, and you may have an external hard drive. He's even gone as far as like, having, his external hard drive sent out to like, his brother, so that way it's like it's in case of a fire and all this other stuff. So like
mm-hmm.
he's gone like, full like I got to cover every freaking single angle for my data because he does a lot of stuff, especially what he does. For you and I don't know if that's necessary, that fourth option is the case
Yeah.
if we need to, but definitely the cloud. A NAS, I started that probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I think you remember that
Mm-hmm.
process when I was up in Maryland, and then everything else is just on an external drive. Plus I limit, some of the content that um, that I create. A lot of products that I use are not necessarily they are still in the cloud. They're not stored on, on my system. So I am taking a risk on some of my stuff. And it's not, end of the world stuff that I'm taking a risk on. It's stuff that I can like quickly reproduce.
And yeah, that's probably the differentiator right there, right? Because Jamie, yeah, listen, he a bad man. Y'all need to Google him, take a look at him
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, right? He's
Yeah.
high up there with Microsoft security and all, but
Yeah.
uh, tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, whatever sensitivity our data is, that determines the backup and the contingency
Yeah.
plan. So I'm just like you. I like, and I kind of hinted at it. I got everything in all three clouds, literally.
Mm,
I
mm,
got
mm,
everything in Microsoft. I've got everything in Google, and I've got everything in Apple, and it replicates across those.
yeah.
And I take just my workflow is even shows like this. They're stored locally. They're stored in the cloud. I
Hmm.
take them every week off of my local device and send
Yeah.
them over to my DAS. I have a direct attached storage.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
again,
yeah.
I don't have that worthy money. See, I sold my NAS.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I did. I got rid of
That's your
my.
fault, man. That's your
I
fault
know.
because you was
See,
probably buying some camera with the money.
see, there you go. Let's get to
I'm
questions.
sorry.
Hold
My
on.
bad.
Let's
My
get to
bad.
questions in
My
the
bad. My
comments. See, why
bad.
you
My
why
bad.
again?
My bad.
Just
My
because I
bad.
got B&H up on my other screen here and not the Olympics right now, we gonna talk about some of that too. Let's get back to a question. So let's see here. Do you believe there should be some type of regulations to prevent one company impacting people, banks, and airlines? Oh my goodness! Now see, now you're gonna get into government regulations, brother. Now see, now really
Yeah.
gonna get into government.
Do you
You at
believe put that question back up there, man. Put that question back up there.
man?
Do you believe that it should be some type of regulation? One, man, oh man. Here's a crazy part. Here's the crazy part. We're literally, you and I were just talking about having a backup for the backup for the backup for the
Mm-hmm.
backup.
Mm-hmm.
And to his question
And
to Real
hey,
Man
and
Right.
brother Strong, come on through. You got the keys to the front door. If you want to come online, come through.
Yeah, and to part of that is that there isn't any sort of regulation. A lot of these companies are still beholden to like one company that
Mm-hmm.
handles multiple big tech companies because they feel like they're the best and things like that. I get it, I understand that, but it's a great question. I don't necessarily, I don't know about the regulation part because I know that will be fought tooth and nail,
Yeah.
from a free market enterprise standpoint. Um, I don't necessarily think the government intervention was going to help, um, in this situation, with any of these companies. I don't think that's going to help.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, man. Oversight is one thing, regulation is another thing, and semantics. We could get into that on another show,
Right.
but someone needs to be watching, but someone doesn't need to be overseeing.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like when AI first started becoming more
Yeah.
commercially
Yeah.
known, right?
Yeah.
There was all this, everyone up in arms about, hey, we need to put tabs on this. We need to make sure that this doesn't try to take over the planet. But free market, free enterprise, that kind of thing. There needs to be a framework, but I
Yeah.
don't think that there needs to be a judge and a court and an umpire pointing at Steve saying you cannot do this, you can't do that. But again, if when things have effects to society, effects to economy,
Right.
then we definitely need to have a review, and we need to have kind of figure out what happened and why it happened to try to hope that it doesn't happen again. Especially,
Yeah.
Lord, God, Lord, it's definitely the weekend. I can't think of my thing. What is it that we talk about after we do a project? Listen, Flo's in the building. She understands. After a project, and then we come back and we recap the
Debrief.
project. Debrief. I think that's the word. I don't
Mhm.
know, man. I'm drinking new coffee here, but I'm drinking low acid coffee, so my
Low.
mind not right. My
You
mind ain't
be
completely right.
experimenting with the car. That's what happens when you live in Cali. Y'all
I
be just experimenting with
talking
stuff
about
and
experiment. Listen, I'm
something.
experimenting. Hold on, let me get this in the
Is
camera. Shouts out to Seed. I'm out here working with this is their new daily symbiotic, probiotic,
Yeah,
prebiotic. Yeah,
yeah,
this is that new
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'm good.
I'm trying to listen.
I'll
I'm
take my
trying to
I'll
make
take
it.
my I'll take my regular coffee Keurig,
Oh my
you
god.
know, the stuff. Oh,
See,
lessons learned. There you go. She said that she put on there lessons
lessons
learned.
learned. There you
Lessons
go.
learned.
And I
There
think
you go.
that's it, man.
There you
Come,
go.
Flo,
That's
if
it,
you
bro.
want,
That's
come
what you
on
should
again.
do.
You know
That's what you're
you got the
looking
keys to the front door. Come through if you want to as well.
for. No, that's the word. That's the word. Yeah, man. You know, I think part of like, yeah, I think Kevin even said it up there, like who's gonna regulate the regulators, right? And that's just a whole nother, sort of mess, that you have. And I'm not sure if a lot of people even get it right the first time. So how do you, have somebody else that's gonna oversee somebody and sort of tell them what to do? But here's the other part too, is that a lot of these solutions and ideas sound really good. Like even like we think, I go to these conferences and I want to say almost 70% of the conversation is around AI,
Yeah.
especially in the retail space. And, you know, it sounds really good. AI for this, AI for that, AI for this, AI for this, supply chain, front end. Now I've seen AI work really great when it comes to, product assortment within retail and things like that. But what the point I'm making is that there's so many people talking about having a conversation, but there aren't any real they haven't really created the problem statement, if you
Mm,
will, that AI truly needs to solve, right? We know, you and I, we know because we use AI a lot. A lot of it is, of course, um, machine learning, which actually allows us to aggregate more information very quickly and get information and outputs to us as quickly as possible. Actually, ideally, to help us save time,
hmm.
because I feel like that's the biggest thing that AI really does, right? That's if you strip all the other stuff away, it is really built to help us save time. It's and
Truth.
even problem solving, right? Well, if we can problem solve quicker, guess what? We save time. If we can, take a whole bunch of data, crunch it, and get a solution, guess what? We save time. So you strip everything else away, even with like video production with AI, right? Guess what it does? It shortens up the time frame for us from having to sit there and edit. Guess what? It saves time. That's the core of what AI is supposed to do. But I don't think we've, had a really good solid argument, around that. It always talks about the solutions and what it can actually do, but it doesn't really get to the core problem that we want to make sure that we address. And I think the point I wanted to make was around the regulations is that what what would the regulations actually solve? So,
Yeah.
Walter brings up a really great point, but I think they need to help to define the problem first before we start to talk about like any type of regulatory solutions.
Yeah. I think it's tough with the conversation about AI because that conversation has changed so much so fast,
Yeah.
right? Again, folks in technology, folks around the military, we know AI has been around for this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new.
No.
But now that
Mm-mm.
it's on these TVs and it's on CNN and CNBC, and now again the everyday citizen is starting to hear about it. Now we have the new fangled Encyclopedia Britannica. Now we got right. We no longer have the volumes of books on in our mom's
Yes,
living room. We got
exactly.
access to Chat GPT and the you that and the perplexities and things like that. But that conversation has changed so much, right? When we
Yeah,
started talking about it
yeah,
from the creator space a few years ago, it was
yeah,
about um, giving it a prompt, give me 3 ideas for a show
yeah.
about technology or something like that. But
Right.
now again, it's like you say, solving problems, eliminating steps in workflow,
Mhm.
uh, doing the research, doing all of those administrative steps that take
Mhm.
time
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
the thing. Right, the
Mhm.
thing is just what we're doing right now, but the behind the scenes, the administrative stuff, a lot of that research. If we can hire someone, I haven't reached out to Fiverr in a number of years now.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now that I
Yeah.
got my
Yeah.
GPT Pro, Fiverr, y'all done lost your money. I pay my little
Yeah.
$20 a month, and that's now my research assistant. But
Mhm.
uh, Kevin
No.
said, ultimately, as consumers, we talk about our money. Hopefully, people and companies should hold others accountable and take their businesses other places. I
Mm.
wanted to get that up because again, I'm an old man, so I forget things. I'm seasoned, so if I talk about
Yeah.
one thing and don't bring up in conversation, I'll forget about it. Pray for me.
Yeah. That's a great point. My dad used to say, like in the back in the day, the neighborhoods, there used to be liquor stores on every corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and he would not every corner, but to be in the corner. People are always talking about the liquor stores and da da da. This is back in the 70s, 80s, right? This are And my dad just had a very simple solution. He's like, "Well, stop buying it."
My Lord.
Like, I know that sounds very rudimentary, but it's the truth. To Kevin's point, like if you really want to solve something, you know, as if you don't like the liquor store,
Mm.
like, on your corner, this is just taking it back in the day, very, kind of fundamental problem from back in the '70s, '80s. They just stopped buying it. They what are they gonna do? They're gonna go out of business. And so Kevin makes a point that's sort of been throughout business for so many decades that not a lot of people think about. Like, you have to, vote with your money, right?
Hmm.
With your purchases. And I had a conversation with someone years ago. Oh my gosh, and it was just like, they were talking about Jeff Bezos and his money, how much money he makes, and Amazon and this and that. I said, well, take everything out of your Amazon cart and go to Kohl's,
Mm.
right?
I'm
Take
fighting words,
no, so
brother.
no, I'm just what I'm saying is that if
Yeah.
you want to, if you're gonna, but you got this person had tons of stuff in their cart
Yeah.
about it for Amazon. Right? And what I mean by that, very fundamental, is that if you really want to do something, then do it, right? If you don't like a business, then don't be a patron, right? Don't go there, right? It is very simple, and I know that's sort of maybe kind of old school mentality, but I mean, there's been restaurants that I haven't frequented in years. I
Yeah.
mean, years, because I had a bad experience, and I tell everybody about it. And so I think we do have to start using our power, if you will, to make sure that if we don't like something that's taking place, that we sort of vote with our wallets.
Man, I didn't know this was going to be an intervention
Oh,
session from
man, my
me,
bad.
but shout out to Dr. Fryer in the building. Listen, man,
Hey, what's
I've
going
been trying
on?
to get in touch with you. We need to connect because I see you doing big things, and I just want to be part of the entourage. So the reason that I
Mm,
say here we go. I'm open to kimono a little bit. The reason I say that it's kind of an intervention statement. I'm a Tesla guy. You see the two on
yeah,
the wall right there.
yeah,
Those aren't just posters. Those are the rides. But it's time for me to vote with my money, or time for me to
mm,
patronize with my and that kind of thing. But man, the dude sitting at the helm.
yeah,
I'm not gonna mention name, but the dude
yeah,
sitting at the helm is making some crazy statements,
yeah,
some
man,
statements that I don't agree with. Let me just
yeah,
say that. And
yeah,
I don't know if I can give my hard earned cash to a
yeah,
company that's run
yeah,
by and founded by and started by a guy who has these abstract views as I do, especially
yeah,
when it's 60, 70, 80, when it's a good chunk of change
yeah,
that's going to be going.
yeah,
So I'm literally sitting in this statement right now because I'm 6 months away from the end of this second lease and
mhm,
obviously thinking about going with another one. But man, a Rivian, a BMW,
yeah,
somebody else better reach out to your boy because I'm not sure if this is going to be
yeah,
another model, whatever, in the garage.
nah,
But that's the thing right there. Having alternatives and voting or speaking forth with the means that you have, your financial means. So, all right, there
yeah,
we go.
man.
There we go.
No, and that's but James, and that's fine, and that's okay for you to do
Elon gonna
that.
send some folks after me. Lord
No,
have
man, no,
mercy.
and that's the problem. But people always, when someone says a statement like you just stated, like, some people don't want to say it because they feel contrarian, right? I don't want to come
Mm-hmm.
off as contrarian. I don't want to come off as like, dude, listen to me. That's your money. You earned it. You have the right to spend it however it is that you see fit, right? If you feel like, overstock.com,
Mm.
years ago, I
They
ordered
got me
my
too back in
mom.
the day. So yeah, keep
Yeah, I ordered
yeah,
my
they got
mom
me too.
a pearl necklace,
Mm.
and they sent the wrong one, and it took like 5 or 6 different times for me to get it right with overstock.com. This was way back in the day, obviously. And once we got it right, I never ordered anything else from them again. Period. And I talked so much crap about them. And still to this day, I'm still talking crap about them, right? But that was my money. I'm okay with that. and I'm just letting everybody know about the bad experience I had. But to your point, there are other people who feel the same way that you do about, the leadership, right? It's the same thing with in leadership within a retail company. If someone doesn't like what the retail leaders are saying, guess what? They're going to leave, right?
Yeah.
And they have the ability, and that's their right if they want to leave, right? But it's all good. Kevin talks about Mercedes is nice. That's so funny.
Nah, Kevin, I've driven the Mercedes when it first came out, the EQS. No, man, that's a boat. I'm trying to still be cool. I'm trying to still be like Urban Fryer, right? I'm trying to still, be fresh when I get. I need Lucid is on the list. So it's right. Y'all, again, y'all don't come around here though and start looking for things because I'm dropping names and numbers, and they don't come around my house, y'all, because we maybe some things waiting for you. So Lucid, Daddy wants a Porsche. When Daddy finally gets these kids completely out the house, who never knows when that'll be, but Daddy wants a Porsche. I've always been a BMW fan,
Mm.
but who was the other one? And Rivian. Rivian is dope because I know RJ. I know the founder of of Rivian, and have been
Mhm.
to many of his events here in Northern California in the Bay Area. So I really, as y'all know, advocate instead of influence. I like to advocate for brands and things of that I believe in. So um, those are on the list, and
Mm.
Elon need to stop tripping because. But man, all right. My dilemma is 3 days ago, I got the
Mm.
latest update for FSD, full self driving, in my car,
Mhm.
and the car drive itself 100% now.
Wow.
There's no nag screen. There's no nag every 14 seconds how it used to be, where
Yeah.
you had to jiggle the wheel. For folks who may
Mhm.
not know Tesla, yeah, we've had something called FSD, full self driving, but it's been unsupervised, meaning every 14 seconds you got a nag notification.
Mm.
Now the camera inside the car is watching you, watching the driver's eyes, and there's no nag. The car will just drive itself 100%
Mm.
without any intervention. And
Yeah.
man, that's dope. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nobody else is even close to the technology of being able to do a full self-driving experience.
Well,
Like,
there's one girl, I can't remember her name on LinkedIn, and, she does a lot of, promotion for the Waymo? Is that it? I think she lives out in
that's the
Arizona.
driverless taxi,
The
kind of
driverless
like the
taxi.
driverless Uber. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she posts at least, and really good posts, probably at least twice a week, about her experience, like, using that, and then, she's brought her and her friends and, I think her husband, they all take it, and she swears by it, man, and, so, having said that,
Mm.
that's the future is here, right?
I'm gonna
It's
get you
not
to buy an electric car before you know it. I'm gonna get you to buy electric. Yeah, come
I
on,
had it on my list, man. I had it
come
on my
through.
list. I may, I'm an old school, so I pulled up at the gym today, and I got like an older car now because I've been through my phase or
Oh, you're
my.
gonna go through another one, but go.
I know, man. No, no, not well.
You're gonna go through another one.
I had all the joints, man. I had all the joints, and I had them all. And yeah, man. And I got like one or two that I have in mind that are not electric. They're little. Um, they're not. I want to say now. It's not so much that they're not popular. Um, they're sort of an acquired taste, but that I want to go back and get. So I'm that's I got my eyes set on something like that. So
You looking at old school Buick? You looking
no,
at what you looking at? An Oldsmobile?
no. So when I say the brand, you'll be like, ooh, nah. So Range Rover,
Okay,
110,
gangster.
110s. So, but I like the older. When I
Wow.
say the older, I mean the older ones. So if you go to um, ECD. I know you probably been trying to pull it up. If you go to ECD, which is a company that creates custom Range Rovers and old school Range Rovers, like the 110s, and then even like like Range Rover Sports and things like that. They do electric vehicles, there as well, but they completely customize them and like kid them out. Those joints is dope, man. Yeah. Oh.
Listen, go ahead,
Man,
pull out the MasterCard right now.
man,
Like that.
man, oh man. Okay,
Build
so
your
now you got me.
own classic. Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh, see, they even got the Jags in there now. They were just doing Range Rovers, the classic Range Rovers and the 110s. But yeah.
That is
So
sick right there.
yeah, that's me all day long. I mean, maybe not that color, but like that style. That's me
Yeah.
all day long, man.
Good God, that's dope.
And
Okay.
that's the one I had. That's the one I had too. I had the 25th edition, 1995.
Riding around
Um,
in your Timbs and bumping Nas all
Listen to
day.
me, man.
But
Listen to me, man.
you better put some Kendrick in there.
I ain't gonna I ain't gonna talk about the circumstances of that joint, but yeah, that's my joint right there. Right there, man.
Okay. I said,
Mhm.
yeah, we're gonna
That's
talk
my
about this after we get offline because you may end up configuring a vehicle sooner than you think. I'm gonna get you to spend this money. We're gonna keep the economy going. Hopefully the missus isn't listening because I don't want you get in
She
trouble.
already know. She
Okay,
already know.
she already know that was part of the prenup. That was part of
Oh,
the paperwork.
she already know. She on board with all of this stuff too.
That was part of the
With this.
paperwork. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I ain't mad
yeah,
at you. I ain't mad at
yeah.
you. Kevin asked me, do I trust FSD? 98%. I trust FSD. I do. There's the last 2% is like in construction areas, right? In kind of tight situations those kind of things. That's still where I will take the control of the wheel. But FSD 98%. Man, I'm in the car pouring coffee. I'm in the car looking at my phone just for a quick minute, because again the cameras are watching
Yeah,
my eyes.
yeah.
I'm taking a little longer blink on the long drives from like here to Oregon or something. But
Yeah.
98% of the time, yeah, FSD is the truth. So yeah, I
Wow.
and I'm a technologist by heart. So I
Yeah.
bought the cars for the technology. I believe in the technology. And listen, if I run into somebody, or if I run into a pole or something, I'm gonna take Elon for half of what he got. Hopefully I don't run into nobody else. I'm definitely not cutting this up. Oh my God. This is definitely not going to be part of the
Yeah,
clips coming out
you
of
won't
office.
you won't use AI for this part.
Yeah, I'm going to chop these last 60 seconds out. My God. Yeah, Zoox, Waymo, Waymo in the Bay Area. I've used Waymo in Vegas. They're in Vegas every time I go to CES there.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I've used them. But that's okay. ECD. I'm gonna make sure you on the mailing list. If not, I'm
Oh,
gonna
dude.
add you.
Dude, yeah, I'm
They
already
know
on
you,
there.
huh? Okay, they
Yeah,
already know you.
they know me because yeah, I talked to them a few years back, probably
I'm
about
saving
5
this.
or
I'm
6
saving
years
this for
back.
myself right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah, they're based out of Florida. They got there's a couple other companies that do that do it now, a little cheaper, good quality. But yeah, I'm an old school hip hop head,
Yeah,
man, right? So I grew up with like that old school Range Rover, like in videos and stuff like that as a kid, right? So you can never get it as a kid, and then when you start making a little bit of money, you're right. You invest and you realize, oh shoot, I got to restore this joint because it's not like how it was. And but it's and I've done all like I said, I've done all of the fancy cars and stuff like that, and that one has always been like in my heart, like
that's
in
the
my
one.
heart.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's those two, that 110 and that Range Rover Classic is you could put there's one car that may trump it though. I hate to use the word, but the one car that may jump is that that new Aston Martin I don't got that type of money.
You
But
got
that
that
new Aston Martin,
007 kind of money. Listen, up. See, well,
that that
this is
that,
who
that
I
Aston
surround
Martin
myself with, folks.
SUV,
You know,
yo, that Aston Martin SUV ain't no joke.
this man over here.
But I no, that's what we dreaming here, right? This is what we do. This is what we do. We talk about what could
I
be.
know it's on your vision board too. I know you got it written or circled somewhere, either in pencil or some type of ink that I'm gonna get to this point in my professional career.
Yeah.
Because we're oh, so here we're gonna make it a little sentimental. We're of a mindset, I think, on from a personal perspective, we're good.
Yeah.
Right, because we can complain about anything, but no one's listening. But if you think about it, we're healthy, our family's healthy, things of that. We have great relationships, all of that. So the personal side is dope.
Yeah.
But once we get just over a plateau or over this hill or get this next contract or get this next deal or do this next thing, can't take it with you, brother. Might as well put a couple of it underneath the mattress, put a couple of dollars underneath the mattress to save it or whatever, but then put some food in the refrigerator. But man, we got it. There's nothing wrong with taking care of and rewarding ourselves for the work. Or else, why else do we do it?
Yeah.
Because we're not loud about it, right? And that's a good thing, right? I'm consciously, purposely not look at me, what I do and those kind of things. We're very humble and quiet about a lot of the accolades, and I think that's a quality. That's a good quality. But when we do reach that milestone, when we do reach that next peak, man, go get you one of these rank Defender D90s I'm looking at right here, or whatever it is. Go get you one of these, brother.
Yeah, it's funny. I did this 10 commandments of leadership, and one of them is it was inspired by inspired by Biggie Smalls, his song about the 10 commandments of his trade from back in the day.
Well, go ahead.
Right? So you know what song I'm talking about. Those who don't know, you can listen to it. So I'm on a walk one morning and I'm listening to that song, and I just immediately started like doodling, and I was stopping every minute writing down all these 10 leadership commandments based off of this freaking song. And one of the lyrics talks about is like one of the commandments is like bad boys move in silence, right? And and basically just what he's talking about, like just no one don't let no one know how much dough you hold, right? It's just
come on. We can't really use that logo right now or that symbol because there's some Diddy issues. But so there's a way that we can turn that and put that into some merch. But
but he's not even on. Yeah, exactly. But he, Diddy ain't even on that song. But it was just anyway. But to your point around you should just bad boys moving silence. Like you just do your thing. You just keep doing your thing. Like don't bring too much attention, right? I teach my clients the same thing. I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't bring too much. You're right. The attention will follow you, right? The Bible says a man's gifts makes room for him, right? The attention will follow you if you keep doing the right thing. You keep developing talent. If you keep having the right conversations, if you keep getting the right results, right? The attention will follow you. It will catch up to you. You don't have to kind of start talking about it and wave your hands. Look at me, look at me, look at me, right? I never believed in that because I firmly believe like those people who are always like to look at me, not all of them, but it's in the leadership realm I'm talking about. A lot of them don't last long, right? Because there's no substance, there's no foundation to it. And so I think part of that whole you hit upon it, earlier we said humility, right? When you start to think about next level things, part of that has to be, who you are, your character has to be tied to humility. So that way, when you do get those things, you're super thankful for it. It's not a show me thing, but you're like, yo, I worked my butt off of this, man. This is so dope. I'm actually able to be here. It's kind of fire.
That's what it's about.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of our loved ones, and a lot of times we forget that first one, to take care of ourselves. Taking care of it.
Mm.
Okay, we can go into a whole. I'm trying to be respectful of your time, and I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
get back to the Olympics because I'm sure you want to watch some of that. I need to be checking out breaking.
yeah, I gotta
That's
figure
what
out
I'm
what
looking.
I gotta don't talk about it, be about it.
No,
That's
that
right,
don't talk.
Kevin.
Love it,
Come on,
love
man.
it. See,
Come on. Yeah, can I just say something, man? Like, I don't know how, like, I've been doing this live stream something for, a few years, right? And every time, like, when Kevin is like in the audience, I don't know if whether it's with Doc or it's with you or whatever. Sometimes he used to come on with my stuff too. Like Kevin always just drops some super dope knowledge. Like he's just super smart. He's super like cerebral. And he just he doesn't waste a word. And I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to shout you out, Kevin, man, because um, you just been doing your thing, man, with helping other people who are live streaming, like, continue the conversation and to, um, help us not really shine, but you provide so much value. I hate to use that word 'cause it's so overused, right? But anyway, I just wanted to say, I appreciate you, Kevin, man. You always in the comments. Every time I see him, like he's like one of those dudes like that. You remember back in the day. So those of us of a certain age, remember like that old EF Hunting commercial, James, right?
we listening.
Some,
Yeah, when Kevin
yes,
speak, we gonna listen. Yeah,
yes, yes. Some people need to Google that one, right?
yeah.
But like Kevin, when Kevin says something, I'm listening, right? So he's always, sort of had that ability. So I just wanted to
Truth.
show him
Ditto.
some love.
Ditto. I echo that. I echo that. Tell you what, man. Let's bring this plane in.
Yeah, man.
What's a takeaway that you can give folks, kind of back
Oof.
in the mentality of technologist forum, back into we talked
Wow.
about contingency planning, we talked about insurance, being aware when the world pauses, how you can get around
Man.
and still get things done. What's a takeaway you can give folks as we
Yeah.
close this out?
I think and you used the word already, and when you said contingency, right? And I think that people need to start having some type of travel contingency fund, right?
Hmm.
Almost, right? When you're thinking about taking the trip, like you may need to have an extra 1,000, 1,200 bucks, 1,500 bucks, like put away somewhere just to help you in case something like this happens or something occurs. I'm just thinking about it from a travel standpoint, and not so much just a technology standpoint. Because when we started off talking about travel, and I think you know a lot of people were still struggling and dealing with that, and a lot of people didn't have the means. So I almost feel like then that needs to be something, or a credit card that you don't use, that you can just have to just for emergencies like that, in that situation. I don't know, but we need to start thinking ahead, because it's going to happen again, and I'm just hoping that it's not horrible, but
Hmm.
it's going to happen again, and something's going to happen, and we need to make some plans for
That's it, man. Insurance is in case
it. Yeah,
of,
man. Yeah,
and
man.
it's going to happen. Accidents don't happen planned. And the dude putting the update on the CrowdStrike servers on their infrastructure didn't mean to take down the planet. Didn't mean this to stop commerce and industry and all of that. Didn't mean to ground planes and all that stuff. But being able to maneuver through these logistics and
Mhm.
things like that. And here she come. Right
Look
right
at,
at
yeah,
the end, as
at
we
the
getting
end,
ready,
at the end,
and she gonna
at the
rewind
end.
this and she gonna find out that you done spent
Yeah,
80,000. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. She coming at the end of
Yeah,
everything.
you gonna
Hey,
have you gonna have some
what
explaining to do.
what did you guys talk about? Why don't you guys
See,
could you
there you
guys
go.
repeat everything that you just said?
Can't do it. She got to be here on time. You can't show up. No CP time. You got to show up on time. Let's get back into the practice of bringing these messages to folks on a weekly basis, man. As
Yeah,
we
man.
can, I
Yeah,
think there's
agreed.
value in it. Hopefully, the community sees value in it as well. You actually have to have those emergency funds, money ready when you travel. See, she coming in dropping gems and at the tail end, at the
What
bottom
did
of the
she
ninth.
what she say?
She agreeing. She agreeing. You
Oh,
know,
she just
Y-
eddying my stuff. She just
there you
taking
well,
everything
oh,
up
see,
later.
don't get
Gotta
yourself in
make her
trouble. Don't. It's time to end now, y'all. Steve Worthy over there. That's a good man right there. Y'all know his links, but I'm still gonna
stuff.
put them in the description. See y'all
Yeah,
next
yeah.
week, hopefully, where some of the other Inner Circle folks will be here on the Technologist Forum. But we appreciate you. Y'all be good to yourself.